First, we broke the food into little pieces and put it in the bags. We added water until the food was covered. We then added the Sedan 3 stain to the bags. If a fat is present, a red stained oil layer will separate out and float on the water surface.
This is the mini donuts. The red line may not be as visible, but there was a line. It's mostly from the oil that it was cooked in. This is cotton candy. There is no visible red stain as it is mostly made of sugar. A food chemist is someone who works in food production, studying the ingredients in foods. They find new ways to find new flavors or make the food much healthier. Food chemist studies aroma by using gas chromatograph. Gas chromatograph separates and analyzes compounds that can be vaporized without composition.
As can be seen from the picture, popcorn doesn't contain much fat because there is no red stained oil floating on the water surface, but if it does, most of the fat is likely to come from the butter in the popcorn.
Unsaturated fat is a fat that has one or more double bonds in the fatty acid chain. Unsaturated fat is found in high amounts in nuts, seeds, oily fish, and vegetable oils such as sunflower, soya, and olive oil. Omega-3 and 6 are unsaturated fats. This is an example showing the difference between the two types of fat. As can be seen, saturated fat doesn't have any double bond between the two carbons, while unsaturated fat has one or even more. This table shows the amount of fat contained in mini donuts, hamburger patty, cotton candy, popcorn, and bread. As can be seen, hamburger patty has the highest amount of saturated fat, which is 5 grams. This is easy to understand because hamburger patty has meat and meat contains saturated fat. It also has the highest amount of monounsaturated fat, which is also 5 grams. And popcorn contains the most amount of polyunsaturated fat, which is 2.5 grams. Surprisingly, cotton candy doesn't contain any fat because it's basically made of sugar. Speaking of the benefits and drawbacks of fat, unsaturated fat is considered to be the good fat for human bodies because it reduces inflammation, stabilizes your heartbeat, reduces low-density lipoproteins, and it lowers the LDL, which increases your risk of heart disease. Meanwhile, saturated fat is believed to be the bad fat for you because it raises LDL cholesterol as well as the total cholesterol levels, and it also lowers the HDL cholesterol, which is the good one for your health. Question 3. Melting point. It is said that the unsaturated fatty acids have lower melting points than the saturated fatty acids, and the longer fatty acid chain has higher melting points than the shorter one. Looking back to the table, we can see that hamburger patty has the highest amount of saturated fat, so it should be the food that has the highest melting point. And according to the melting point principle, as the molecular weight increases, the melting point increases. So the longer fatty acid chain should weigh more than the shorter one. Therefore, its melting point should be higher.
Advantages are it promotes nutrients delivery to skeletal muscles and changes in gene expressions, reduces inflammation, and help breaks cholesterol. Disadvantages are it increases cancer risk, heart disease, and weight gain.
Palmitic acid is the most abundant fat found in popcorn, also known as C16H32O2. Its molar mass is 256.43 grams. In one serving of popcorn, there is 31 grams. there's 11 grams of fat in one serving. If you divide both by 31, you will get 1 gram of popcorn having 0.355 grams of fat. We use this to figure out how many moles of fat and the number of molecules of fat there are for 1 gram in popcorn.